नमोऽस्तु ते व्यासविशालबुद्धे फुल्लारविन्दायतपत्रनेत्र येन त्वया भारततैलपूर्णः प्रज्वलितो ज्ञानमयः प्रदीपः ॐ ध्यानमूलं गुरोर्मूर्तिः पूजामूलं गुरोपदं मन्त्रमूलं गुरोर्वाक्यं मोक्षमूलं गुरोकृपा ॐ कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकीनन्दनाय च नन्दगोपकुमाराय गोविन्दाय नमो नमः। मूकं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे परमानन्दमाधवम्। हरिः ॐ। सद्गुरु भगवान की जय। सच्चिदानंद भगवान की जय। कृष्ण भगवान की जय। गीता माता की जय। हरिः ॐ। We are discussing Srimad Bhagavad Gita, the nectarian words coming forth from the mouth of the absolute form of God, that is Lord Krishna, and the hearer is the highest among the beings, Arjuna, Nara, and in that we are discussing 8th discourse, and yesterday we saw the sloka number 24th, and there we were discussing about the time factor of the departure of the soul from the physical body. That has got so much importance. The exact point, exact time of departure. This we were discussing yesterday so elaborately, why this particular time of departure is so much of importance. Yesterday we discussed also the impressions carried forth at the time of departure. Those impressions are so strong, they guide the departing soul further in future. So on this soul, the departure time, whatever the time is, whatever the thought is, all these they guide in the astral planes. This what we were discussing yesterday. So this particular time is so important. Similarly, the arrival time, time of birth in astrology science, all these times are so much so much influential and so important. Time, situations, conditions, everything. We discussed yesterday how the whole world is nothing but a cooperative society. Every atom is linked with the other, and thereby the whole universe is a cooperative society. All these beings, they are interrelated, interacted. So in this way, it is known to be a cooperative society. Everybody is helping others and being helped by others. On this basis only the natural law comes forth, that is, action has reaction, cause will have effect, and this cycle goes on for eternity. In this way we discussed all these the importance of time, situations, the last impressive thought, which is the outcome of whole life. Now, little different from this, we shall discuss why this Uttarayan, the northern path of the sun, the northern solstice. What is northern path of the sun? How we understand this? What is the understanding? Does really sun walk northward and southward? From geographical point of view, from the astrological point of view, all these planets, 9 important planets, and many others they are now discovering, and all those planets with these subplanets, they have their particular orbit, particular distance from the sun, and angle of their orbit, in what angle they go on traveling round the sun. All the planets are not in the same plane. Their plane of orbit differs from each other. They have got different angles from each other, these orbits. And all these planets and subplanets also, and in between so many Ulka Pindas, means the comets, thousands of comets, small objects between the Mars and the Jupiter. They have their orbit. Though they change the orbit, yet they are in a particular path, they will not change it. In this way, many type of motions we see in different angles, different planes around the sun, and that is called solar system. Considering our Earth, Earth is a planet little 23.5 is bent towards right. Right means when we consider the upper part to be the north, the lower part to be south, then right means towards the east. It is little bent. How much degree? 23.5 degree. And its orbit also, of course, it is constant. And in the orbit, when the earth goes on moving, it moves in the same bent position, and the orbit also is not round, it is elliptical. So sometimes the sun comes nearer to the sun, and sometimes the earth goes farther from the sun. And in this way, the climatical changes occur. Climatical changes. The seasons occur. This doesn't happen in other planets or subplanets exactly like this. It will have different differences. But our earth is particularly designed in such a way. It will have difference in seasons, and time will always be changing, and it will bring different types of weathers. And this is how, when you see the geographical or astrological movement of the earth round the sun, we see practically the sun doesn't move, but the earth moves in an elliptical way round the sun. And sun is so elliptic circle will have two centers. So one will be nearer to some end, and the other will be nearer to this other end. There is no particular center where from all the orbit distance will be same. It is not so. So in this way, when the earth moves, and always it will be bent towards the east. So sometimes the north pole of the earth is bent towards the sun, so it will have more sunlight, and it comes nearer to the sun, so it will have more daylight or sunlight, and it will have more warmth. And the other part will be farther, so that south pole will have less of sunlight. And in this way, when it goes to the other point, the same north pole will be getting less of sunlight, and south pole will have more sunlight. In this way, the seasons change, and this is how the sun appears if the globe, the earth, is divided into two hemispheres. The central point will be 0 degree. Imaginary degrees of height and lowness. So 0 degree is called the tropic line, equator, where always the day and night are equal. That is 12 hours a day and 12 hours a night. And in north, when the northern hemisphere goes towards the sun, the daytime will be more, and in the North Pole the day becomes 6 months and night becomes 6 months. Similarly, when the South Pole comes nearer to the sun, the South Pole also will have 6 months day and 6 months night, the other half. And we consider where the 6 month day and 6 month night on the North Pole, because it is upward. Upward means upward. Yes, on the orbit. Or on the orbit, it is called upward, and South Pole will be downward. So upward is known as north and downward is called south. In this way we have imagined, and the altitudes and longitudes are imaginary lines by which we divide the earth to know the time and the difference in the times, day and night. In this way, we have to bring the universe into our vision. The sun is somewhere in our small galaxy. Our galaxy is insignificant in the whole universe. And in that galaxy, sun is not at all seen anywhere if the galaxy is in a, say, 10 feet by 10 feet map. The sun will be somewhere southernward, right side, means north, east, south, southeast. In that corner somewhere, not even a dot. So insignificant our solar system is. In comparison with our little galaxy, which is not at all have some identification in the whole universe. No ID card of our galaxy, which is so big, and where the red star is the greatest star, which is nearer to sun and so many light years apart. So can you imagine about the whole universe? Nobody can even imagine it. And these universes are innumerable in the absolute truth. They are black spots somewhere in one insignificant portion of the absolute truth. It is simply beyond our head. No intellect can measure or imagine what is the truth. Even the king of our galaxy cannot imagine what is truth. And where are we, the solar system people? And in the solar system, where is this small dot, the earth? But yet, every dot has got its place in the universe. So, our considering the bending of our earth position, it is bent towards northeast, that is in the universe. That direction is known to be very auspicious, very pleasant, and always luminous, and in the end it has to meet at the horizon of the creation, and then it merges in the absolute, beyond the horizon. In this way, our bending of earth towards the northeast. Northeast is known to be Ishan Kona. Ishan, where the absolute truth abides. That means that is the shortest and luminous path by which we can go to the horizon of the universe, and then there is no universe, and then the absolute silence. This way, this northern path of the sun and southern path of the sun is so important. At that time, the earth aims at that luminous path, where everywhere only light and light. So at that time, and then comes also the daytime and lunar bright half of the month, lunar 15 bright half, and there also the daytime. In this way, when everything is directed towards that path, if you depart naturally, everything will be directed towards that point. In this way, we can imagine our departure time. If all these times and situations coincide with each other, daytime and bright half of the lunar month, and daytime and northern path of the sun. In that way, if everything coincides, the earth will be directed towards that. The person has to be forced, he will be prompted to depart in that line only. Analytically, from not 360 degree, from 360 degree to the power infinity, if we consider in this way, keeping the whole universe before us, and timing and situations, then we can have little idea why all these are important in astrological facts and figures. The great seers, they have seen all these out of their experience and bright sight. They have given this all to us. And that is what Lord Krishna is explaining to Arjuna, my dear. And that is what followed by our great hero Bhishma. Bhishma. He waited for that time. He didn't part from the body in Dakshinayana. The great yogis, they know this, and that's how they leave the body and get out at that particular time. And at that time also, if the prana goes upward, that also has importance in the body. Prana has to go. There are so many gateways in the body. Every hair, our hairs have got their roots. Everywhere there is opening, innumerable opening. Any way the prana can get out. And main 10 gates, 9 gates are men. All these openings of the senses, the windows of the senses. In this way, prana can get out by any window, any gateway. And if it goes making a hole at Brahmarandhra, the talu, the top of the head, there is a point very soft. When the child is born, you see that is so soft, because from there everything, all the impressions and everything is put inside. Just as we see the pots, plastic or glass pots, they will have 2 halves, they will be joined, and in the end some place will be there where everything is sealed. That is the last sealing point. So the whole body will be filled with everything needed in it from the womb of the mother, and then it will be sealed there. If by that way the yogi goes out, he is bound to go to the highest, not to return back again. He is bound to reach the absolute. And if the prana goes from upper portions, upper holes, that means eyes, ears, nose or mouth, the best is through the eyes. If it goes out by the eyes, it will go to Surya Lok. If it goes out of ear, it will go to the Vayu Lok. In this way, different planes of astral planes, different planes, the yogi will go. You see, look at your bow and arrow. Wherever it is targeted, then there only the arrow will go. So this is how prana is targeted at the time of departure. If the bow shakes a little, the target will not be hit by the arrow. So steady. And at that departure time, just as the point of shooting of the arrow is most important, that's how they stop the breath. And they have to have so much steadiness, one pointed eye, one eye they close, and then they look at the end of the arrow where it is targeted. If it is coinciding target the arrow's end and its base, then it will bound to hit the target. If little this side, that side, arrow will miss. It will miss the target. That's how they put some circles, and how much apart from the center of the target. That's how they give marks to the shooters, isn't it? Similarly, the prana also, if it is targeted well, getting out from the particular gateway of sense and at the particular favorable time and situations, then the soul has to reach the absolute by hook or by crook, somehow or other, positively it has to hit the goal. This way we have to understand why all these descriptions are given. Now coming to our point. Agni, Jyoti, Aha, Shukla, Sanmasa, Uttarayanam. Tatra payata gachanti Brahma, Brahma vido janaha. Fire, light, daytime, the bright fortnight, the 6 months of the northern path of the sun, departing then by these men who know Brahman, go to Brahman only. This sloka is not only scientifical, it is astrological, geographical, universal. Considering all these points, Lord Krishna has given these timings. We discussed so many points on travel time and all other timings of actions, whatever we do, at what time what should be done, what performance we should do, yatra, marriage, or starting the education, or getting initiation, or building the new building. Timing. Time is a great factor, because the whole universe, relative universe, is related with time only. That's how the time is the great controller. This is the Uttar Marga or Devayan, the northern path or the path of light, by which what we discussed now, this path is always luminous. It never gets darkness. whereas southern part is always full of darkness. So Yamaraja, the, the death god, he lives in southwest. So that is fully black half. Always there will be darkness, and the soul travels with so many difficulties, so many pains and sufferings. Yogis go to Brahman who know this path. This path leads to salvation. It takes the devotee to Brahmaloka. The person. The 6 months of the northern solstice is from the middle of January to the middle of July. Makara Sankrant to Karka Sankrant.
Proper word by condition.
Makara Sankrant. There onwards it is called Uttarayan. It is regarded as the better period for death. There is a vivid description in the Chandogya Upanishad. The Kausitaki Upanishad, Kausitaki Upanishad, and the Brahma Sutras, chapter 4, 3 and 4, verses 2nd, 8 and 21st, 18 and 21st slokas in Brahma Sutras. All these points are dealt with. On the road beginning with light, the departed soul proceeds on account of the being widely known, on account of that being widely known. Having reached the path of the gods, gods live in a luminous plane. That's why they are called god, means devatas. Deva matlab means, deva means the luminous beings. He comes to the world of Agni, fire, to the world of Vayu, air, to the world of Varuna, rain, to the world of Indra, king of gods, to the world of Prajapati, the creator, to the world of Brahman. In this way, slowly he surpasses all these different planes. All these are nothing but the planes of 5 elements. Surya Loka, agar Agni Loka, and then comes Vayu Loka, and Jal, the water, the Varuna Loka, Indra Loka. Varuna is the preserver of water, water element. In this way, different planes, subtler planes, astral planes, through which this yogi travels, and slowly it reaches Brahmaloka, the plane of the Creator, and then it goes beyond the horizon, reaches the absolute truth. This will be the path of the yogi. They go to the light, from the light to day, from day to the waxing half of the moon, from the waxing half of the moon to, in this way slowly they advance forward. From the moon to 6 months when the sun goes to the north, from those months to the year, from the year to the sun. When the person goes away from this world, he comes to Vayu, air. Then Vayu makes room for him like the whole of a wheel, and through it he mounts higher, he comes to the sun. From the moon to the lightning, there a person that is not human leads him to Brahman. A person, a luminous person, a guide. He will guide the soul to the Brahman. This is the path of luminous that leads to liberation. The life breeze of the liberated sages who have attained knowledge of the self do not depart. They are observed in Brahman. What is this? The life breaths of the liberated sages who have attained knowledge of the self do not depart. There is no departure for the jnanis from this body. Then where do they go? Do they merge in the body? No, not in the body. Body is gross. Just as we always discuss on the example of empty earthen pot. Inside it is empty, means there is a sky inside it. When the earthen pot is broken into pieces, it will be observed in the earth, in clay. Time will take, it will disappear in the clay because it has come from clay, and it will go to the clay. Now, what happens to that inside sky? Does it go somewhere? Of course, the air inside the pot may have some movement after the breakage of the pot, but the sky will have no movement. It will remain as it is. It will be called the absolute sky. Similarly, the soul of the realized souls who abide in the heart of hearts, that is the sky of the heart, the Chidakas, they live in Chidakas. Always they have been one with that Chidakasha sky, so their prana never goes out, it remains steady. So in the scriptures it is said, Natasya pranan utkramante. The pranas, 10 pranas or 5 pranas, they do not get out from the body of the realized soul. They remain as they were. They are always steady and they will remain steady. There is no movement. In this way, these two paths are not open to whole world. The bright path is open to the devotees, and the dark one to those who are devoted to the rituals. Rituals means those who perform yajnas, danas, and tapas, etc. with desire. They will go to some planes where from they have to return. Devotees are the dark one to those who are devoted to the rituals. These paths are as eternal as the samsara. It is eternally open to these type of souls. World here means devotees or people devoted to ritual. Pitrilok or Chandralok is Swarga or heaven. Pitriloka, where the departed souls live. And Chandraloka is a plane where one enjoys most. Because Chandra is said to be nectar. So they enjoy there. Now, where we have got? No. This is the path of illumination that leads to liberation. The life breath of the liberated sages who have attained knowledge of the self do not depart. They are observed in Brahman. The Jivan Muktas who attain Kaivalya Moksha or immediate salvation or liberation have no place to go to or return from. They become one with the all-pervading Brahman here and now. They don't have to go anywhere. Each step may mean a plane or a state of consciousness or the degree of purity or illumination. The more the purity, the more the divine light. There are bright objects throughout the course of the path. There is illumination or knowledge when one passes along this path, hence it is called the path of light. Just as you are traveling somewhere, if you go through a zigzag, kacha road through a jungle to reach the goal. You will not get always everywhere in the way to rest somewhere in the inns or in the restaurants. You will not get good tiffin or good hot drinks. But when you go in a little roundabout way, in a highway to reach the goal, your target, you may get always every now and then some restaurants, some tea shops, some other shops. You can have rest houses, but through the jungle you cannot have all these. So the different paths will have different facilities. In this way, this luminous path they always enjoy while passing through the path. But the other half, that dark path, always will be suffering. They will not get food, no water to drink. They will have difficult, terrific rivers to cross and fiery areas to go through. In that way, they will be tortured in the path itself. After Brahma was mortally wounded, Bhishma was mortally wounded. He lay on the bed of arrows till the onset of the northern solstice, and then departed from here to the abode of the Lord. He was a yogi. He had will death. Whenever he wills, then only he will die. In this way, this is called Uttara Marga, Uttarayana. And tomorrow we shall see elaborately the other half. Dhumo Ratri Statha Krishna Sanmasa Dakshinayanam Tatra Chandramasam Yotir Yogi Prapya Nivartate. Tomorrow we shall see it is elaborately. The bright half we have discussed today because it is Sunday, the day of sun. Tomorrow is the Monday. Tomorrow we shall discuss this. Attaining to the lunar light by smoke, night time, the dark fortnight also, the 6th month of the southern path of the sun, the yogi returns. Some yogis, they also with all the desires, they practice all these austerities and yajnas. They getting those desired objects, they have to return back to the earthly plane again. This we shall see tomorrow. Yoga Brashta are ignorant fellows, or the you see people with full of desires, they perform sacrifices, they give charities, donations to get something. So they will get that. In this way, tomorrow we shall see this. हरि ओम पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते ओम शांति शांति शांति। सद्गुरु भगवान की जय। सच्चिदानंद भगवान की जय। कृष्ण भगवान की जय। गीता माता की जय। हरि ओम।